Hello, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I'd like to talk about how long and how often to imagine. This is a question that I get all the time. People wonder, how many times do I have to imagine the same thing? Should I do the same imaginal act all the time? Do I do it once and drop it? Why does Neville talk about living in the assumption and living in the end? So these are all very good questions. And even myself, it took me a while to understand what he is talking about here. And it was only when I put it to the test and I really tried this with any number of different ways, any number of different times, any number of different techniques, when it finally clicked through trial and error of what this is meant when it said live in the end. So I guess I should first explain how to manifest, right? So, the process of manifestation is quite simple, right? Any thought or feeling or emotion that we hold in our mind will be replicated and expressed on the screen of space, right? And so, specifically, what is happening is this analytical mind, the consciousness that we have that allows us to think or conjure up ideas or desires. This is the analytical mind, the conscious mind. What happens is when we get a desire, in order to manifest, we construct a scene of the end result, right? The happy ending, if and only if the desire was fulfilled. So, to ask the question, what would it be like if I now had the thing that I wanted? Or if there was nothing in between me and that thing, what would it be like? Or what would it feel like? Or what would I smell and taste and touch? And who would I see? Or um, if I could snap my fingers and be the person that I wanted to be, what would that be like, right? So these types of questions are important because what they're designed to do is allow you to immediately think from the end with nothing in between, no difficulty, no logic, no reason. Because the subconscious mind does not use reason. It literally accepts whatever is impressed upon it and then copies it into this world. So, imagining the end is the only necessity to manifesting the thing that we want, right? We are never to construct any means between of how it will be accomplished because God's ways are greater than our ways. Okay? So anyway, the conscious mind constructs a scene that would embody the fulfilled desire, right? And we take that scene and we bring it into our imagination. And then we fix it there and we hold it in our mind and act out in first person as if we were really experiencing the thing that we desire to experience. And when we do that, it's like a seed being created in the likeness of all of the things that we are imagining at that one time, right? So it's like all the feelings, all the things we see, all the things we touch, taste, smell, hear, feel, all of those together, if you make that scene vivid in your subconscious mind, I'm sorry, in your imagination, that seed will be planted in your subconscious mind, right? And then when you drop that seed into the subconscious mind, you walk away and you watch it manifest in this world, right? So that's the process of manifesting. And we're doing this every single moment of every single day. And we've been doing it from the moment we were born until right now. And we will continue to do this forever and ever. So all of the events that we are experiencing in our life, including where you live, your job, the people in your life, how you feel, how everyone else is reacting to you, that is all created by you. All of your thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires, imaginal acts, inner conversations, outer conversations, all of those things are all constantly creating seeds in their likeness, dropping them in your subconscious mind, and they're being recreated in this world. And that's why each and every day is very similar to the one before, because all day long we're planting seeds, and so therefore they will ripen and we will experience those things. So when it comes to the idea of dropping it or living in the end, I thought of a great analogy to explain how we are supposed to do this, okay? So when Neville says live in the end, that does not mean that we need to constantly obsess about the thing that we are imagining, right? There's a difference between constructing a scene in our mind's eye and thinking about all day long about the thing that we want, right? So when we create the seed of our desire, when we make that imaginal act in our mind, and when we feel it real, we drop that seed, right? And we're supposed to basically let it be. We have to let it grow, right? And so that means that we basically move on in our life, not obsessing over that desire, not thinking about it all the time, but just knowing that it will manifest, but thinking of it as if it has already manifested, right? So think about yourself, right? Or where you live, or your job, or your friends, right? These things all stay in existence because you have assumptions of them alive in you. Now, that doesn't mean that you're thinking about them 24/7, all of these different things. You don't have an obsessive thought in your mind constantly fixed on the idea that this person's your friend, this person's your girlfriend or boyfriend, this is your job. If you can only think about one thing at a time. And so it doesn't go to say that you need to fix on the end result all the time, but what it's the same thing as just knowing that it's already done, right? So there's a big difference between continuously obsessing about this desire that you want fulfilled and just knowing that it's done, right? Like even me, I know my name is Joe. I know I live in San Diego, California, right? But I don't think about these things 24 hours a day, right? I just don't, I just know that they're done and that's how it is, right? And that's exactly what Neville is talking about. That's exactly what works. We imagine the thing that we desire. We impress it on the subconscious mind and then we drop it, right? And then we walk away, right? And we look at the imaginal act as it is almost a memory because that means that it has already happened. The memory of something is such a great um, example or explanation of the way that we should view the imaginal acts, right? To just know that it happened, but not to be thinking about it obsessively all the time, right? So there is so the subconscious mind, right? God, the human imagination. This lives inside your mind, okay? So you the being that we create every single day, all day long, right? So if you've manifested before, if you've manifested before, then especially when I recommend to write the lists of a few things in a row and then just forget about it and move through your day. When those things manifest, you can see through that testing of the law that you thought about it for a split second and then you let it go, right? You didn't think about it anymore. So very likely you didn't anyway. Those are the ones that seem to manifest the best and the quickest. And so you apply that to everything, right? It's the things that we think of and then drop and move on that end up manifesting the quickest, the fastest, the best, right? So apply that for all desires because that is dropping the seed and then giving it room to breathe, right? And now there's a difference between like forgetting about it or thinking of the opposite, right? Now, if you start thinking about the opposite of your desire, then what it is doing is saying that you are no longer aware of the thing that you've planted, right? So if you want that job and you imagine for a second that you have that job and then you drop it, but then 5 seconds later or an hour later, you're obsessing about the lack of the job or feeling like you're not going to get that job. That's a completely different story, right? You can't just walk away from that and let that grow because that dominant feeling and emotion will grow, right? The last thought on your mind, which was, I don't have this, that's what's going to grow. So when it comes to your conflicting thoughts, it is When we have a conflicting thought, oftentimes what I do is if I have the capacity to drop the emotion related to it, like that negative thought, I will then reverse it and think of the thing that I desire instead, right? Only if I can drop the negative emotion, because otherwise, if I bring that negative emotion into the desire that I want, that is captured in the seed as well and will create more of its own likeness, right? And those doubts are only going to create more doubts and failures. If at that time I cannot drop the emotion that's attached to the negative thought, then I will specifically and explicitly avert my attention to something else and focus on something that's going to not make me think about myself or not make me think about the thing that I desire or the thing that I'm lacking. And once I get out of that state of mind that has that lack, and when I'm doing something like laughing or asking someone how they're doing or imagining for another person, once my mood gets elevated a bit and I don't feel as negative, then I can bring that scene back into my mind's eye and then drop the seed again and try it again and just know that it's done, right? Have that in your awareness, but not obsessing over the thing. So anyway, I really hope that was beneficial because I understand how it can be confusing at times that, when to drop it, when to not, right? And just to know that, like, the imagination is in your mind, right? And the imagination creates reality, right? And if we're watching our manifestations unfold all day, every day, based on observing our thoughts, then you know that your thoughts are heard by the thing that is creating, right? Those fleeting thoughts that are manifesting prove to you that you are being heard, right? You are being heard by the thing that manifests, right? That I call God. And knowing that He has heard you, that the imagination has heard you, that the subconscious mind has heard you, then you know that the thing that you've imagined will manifest, right? And if you know that it will manifest, then you can trust explicitly or implicitly in the imagination. So you know that it has heard you, so you know that it will fulfill the thing that you've desired. So that should give you enough faith. After you test this, you'll prove this to yourself, but that will give you the faith enough to imagine and drop it and trust, right? So be sure to test this with everything that you possibly can, right? All issues that you encounter in your life, all desires for yourself and for other people, right? Always imagine. Start to track the progress of your imagination. Test it. See, how long did I imagine for that this manifested? How long did I imagine for this and it didn't manifest? Um, what feelings did I have during this? When did I do this, right? You want to build up a case for yourself to always have that proof and keep track of the things that you're manifesting so that on that rainy day, you can go back and prove to yourself again and again that imagination has created your reality. And that's something I've done. I have book upon book upon book of all of my manifestations. Not all of them, but thousands and thousands and thousands of them to the point where it is um, it's almost, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, right? But if there ever was, I could go back and look and prove to myself that this works. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please click the subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and go to the website Sovereign Mind for more stuff like this. And stay tuned for more. Thank you for watching.